Okay guys, welcome to another video. Now that I'm out of YouTube purgatory, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to make this video. So what we're going to look at today is the AFAK, the ankle first aid kit by TheTacticalMedic. What this is, it's an anklet or an ankle holster to carry a medical kit with you on a daily basis. I bought this from TheTacticalMedic. Really good company, but it's sewn or made or designed by Riker Nylon Gear. The first thing I want to talk about is why did I buy this over the other ones? Well, in the past I've owned different ones. One was called a Ricci, R-I-C-C-I, ankle cuff or ankle medical anklet, ankle holster. And another one was made by Rescue Essentials. And both of them utilized a lot of elastic, which I found I'm not a big fan of. The reason I got this is, first, the color, right? Because a lot of the pants I wear, you know, I don't know. I just like this kind of brown type color. The second one is it doesn't use elastic, or it uses a small amount of elastic, which I'll talk about in a second. It's US made. Those other ones, I don't know where they were made, but I'm almost positive that they weren't American made. So, especially for something that I want to rely on, right? And something that I want to carry with me every day, kind of want to represent, right? So me personally, I like that it's American made. There's a lot of other good ones out on the market. In this video, I just kind of want to talk why I chose this one. And even if you don't buy this exact one, I kind of want to talk about the concept, you know, why you would carry something like this. So for the rest of the video, it's not going to be me it's going to be me talking, but you're going to be looking at my legs. What I'm going to do, a little different than a lot of other videos, is I'm wearing a pair of pants that I just tend to wear on a daily basis. They're a looser fitting, they're made by Magpul. It's a pair of Magpul pants. But what I'm going to roll in is I'm going to try on a variety of different pants and boots to show you and give you some considerations and things to keep in mind. So the first pair is a pair of Duluth Trading 5-pocket jeans, Duluth Flex, and I call them like hipster skinny jeans because for me, at least the ankles, they're like really tight and they fit really tight. Another pair will just be a pair of American Eagle bootcut jeans, a pair of Duluth Trading Company sweats that have kind of a loose cuff so they're not elastic at the bottom, and a pair of Duluth Trading Company fire hose cargo pants or work pants. And then I'm going to show you wearing a pair of Wellingtons or like a slip-on work boot, safety toe work boot. These are made by Justin Boot Company. Original, yeah, I think Justin Boot Company. I'm going to show you wearing a pair of Oboz Bridger insulated 8-inch tall winter boots, work boots, and I'll show you wearing a pair of, these are called Keen Coven. I don't think they're made anymore, but a very similar, it's like a 5 to 6 inch high boot, and the new brands of Keen and other manufacturers will be similar. Okay, so this is a pair of Magpul Flightline pants. They have roughly an 18-inch leg opening, and they fit me, they're not baggy, but this is like kind of standard. And as you can see, I have the Keen boots on, and standing up, I mean, personally, I can't see anything. It doesn't feel obtrusive, and there you go, my nice white hairy legs and the AFAK. Okay, so now I have a pair of American Eagle bootcut jeans, but I mean, as long as it's a boot cut type of jean, the brand really doesn't matter. They all kind of fit the same. And as you can see, I put those kind of Wellington slip-on work boots, safety boots, and it works fairly well. I mean, this type of boot is kind of what I wear with bootcut jeans. And if you have cowboy boots, very similar. So the difference with this, I'm going to kneel down, is I move the ankle cuff a little higher on my, so it's off my ankle, it's almost like on my lower calf. And what I did, hopefully you can see that, the top of the boot is right here. The ankle cuff, it isn't tight in there, there's still movement, but the ankle cuff is inside the top of the boot. So it, I don't know, it protects it a little bit more, and it looks like it's just an extension of the boot. Okay, so this is the tightest pair of pants that I own, at least with the smallest leg opening. And I don't wear these anymore, so I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting I wouldn't even be able to get the cuff of the pant over this leg cuff, but to my surprise, it's on there, and you can see, so that's my normal ankle, the ankle cuff. So you can see a little bit, but the thing is, no one is going to be looking, right? And it really doesn't matter, but I'm talking more for your peace of mind, just so it doesn't look really wonky. So I'll kneel down so you can see that I actually have it on. The leg opening on this is probably 15 inches or so. And you can see it fits pretty tight around. I don't wear this tight of pants, but it's kind of weird because it hides fairly well, and it's right there. Yeah, much to my surprise, I mean, in this video I was going to try and illustrate that depending on what type of pants you wear, you might run into issues, but with this, it takes a little work in getting over. But depending on your footwear choice, right, it looks like an extension of the boot, at least to me. And it, I don't know, it's not catching or anything like that, so that's kind of cool. So this is that pair of gray sweats. This is like standard kind of what I wear when I'm at the gym, pajamas, lounging around the house and stuff like that. As you can see, it's not apparently visible, but it is on the same leg. As you can see, right there. I'll kneel down. Hopefully you're kind of catching this. So if you're treating someone else, the advantage is you go down, you pull your cuff up, and you have access to your medical. Okay, so as you can see, it's on there, and it works fairly well. I mean, you can't see it, right? It looks like boots, but I wanted to end on this example because there's another option that you could consider, but it might not work that well for you. So this is a pair of 8-inch boots. So a lot of police duty boots, military type boots, they might be 8-inch, they might be a little taller. Now, if they're a 10-inch pair of boots, you'll be like right up around your calf. Now, they include this elastic piece right here, and that's the boot extender, right? And it gives you a couple more inches. Now, the concept being is then that way you can run it around your boot. So let's do that and see what happens. Ugh. Okay, so there it is around the top of my boot. And this is the problem I ran into, which I just want to show on camera. It works fine. As you can see, you can definitely see which ankle has the cuff on it. And in concept, it makes sense if you're a police officer or something like that. It doesn't really matter. What I found is, because that's where I flex my ankle, even though that boot extension has a little stretch in it, over time it would get loose and start to swim around. So take that for what it is. You can run it around your boot. I'm trying to get this all on camera. You can run it around your boot, but the thing is, once you put that boot on, now your ankle's that much wider, right? And then now you're adding a lot of extra girth, right? So I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying maybe keep it in mind. And if I was to put on another pair, like that skinny type pair of pants with these boots, it wouldn't be even able to make it. This is kind of the roomiest pair of pants I have, and it just worked. So what I tend to do is I always run it on my calf, even if I have to go higher up, depending on the boot. The one exception is the slip-on work boots, where it can ride inside of the top of the boot. So if you have something like that, rock on, that's what I would do. But what I normally do, sometimes I'll use the boot extension depending on the circumstance, if I need it or not. You can always take it off though. And that's what I end up doing. This is my kind of everyday winter type boot. So this is how I end up running it. You know, there's a lot of guys, they want to conceal carry, and women too. They want to conceal carry, self-protection, all that. That's important. In reality, how many times have you needed to draw a gun for personal protection outside of duty use or military use? Hopefully zero, you know, but we do live in a dangerous world. So my second question is, how many times have you gotten hurt in the regard that it might not be life-threatening, but you're losing a lot of blood? Again, very anecdotal, but since early childhood, let's see, I dropped a steel plate on my toe, resulting in I almost lost my large toe, massive bleeding, hospital room surgery, and a lot of nerve damage, so I don't have proper operation of one of my large toes. When I was younger, me and my brother, he dared me, we were on a teeter-totter, a kind of spring-loaded one, and to stand up on it, and we're bouncing, I lost balance, I landed right on the handle, and I broke my chin open, right down here, so I have scars. Lots of blood. One time, me and my sister were fighting over who gets to sit in the front seat. How old was I? Let's say 6 or 7. And she got in there, and I was doing something. She slammed the door on my thumb, crushed the thumb. The nail bed's still damaged. Again, lots of blood loss. One time I was monkeying around with a chisel that was sharp and didn't really know what I was doing. Again, maybe I was 9, and I gouged my chisel nearly. Well, I didn't nearly take my thumb off, but you could see the bone and the cartilage and everything. And again, blood everywhere. I've had multiple accidents at work, which I don't really have to talk about, but a couple that I wouldn't say would be life-ending, but a lot of blood loss, right? So when I say, who is this right for? Everyone, right? All humans are accident-prone. Right? And maybe you're very, very careful and you don't have accidents. Good on you. But the other thing I would say is, if you are a prepared individual, I'm not saying you're ill-prepared if you don't have medical gear on you. What I would say is, why do you conceal carry? Self-protection. What is this? Self-protection, right? So a lot of people think of the pulling the trigger, but they don't really think of the aftermath, right? If you're pulling a trigger, most likely they have a gun, and if you're able to get shots on them, they'll probably end up getting shots on you. There'll be a lot of blood loss. Or there's bystanders, or someone else gets shot and you're the first responder, and you have your phone, you call medical emergent, you call 911, get ambulance sent there, EMTs. But, car crash is another example. Say for your job, you travel cross country, so you spend a lot of time driving. I'm sure you've witnessed a lot of car wrecks, car crashes, where there's a lot of blood loss or other bad injuries that, again, maybe they're not life-threatening, but a lot of people think of like an AFAK as like life or death. No, just really bad injuries that have a lot of blood or worse. I'll just show you real quick what I have in mind, and alternatives that you can use. So the light stick with the safety pin. A CPR face shield, which I don't really see included in a lot of AFAKs, but I think it's important. This is the mini compression bandage by H&H mini compression bandage. It's not as effective and it's not as big as an Israeli bandage, which can be both a pro and a con. I tried putting an Israeli bandage in here, it was too bulky, so this is what I'm rocking. Again, better than nothing, and I've used these in practice and I actually like them a lot. They're really thin, compact. And then I have soft Key Tourniquet. With this one, keep in mind you have this kind of hinge mechanism buckle. And what I would do personally, or again, this is what I'm doing, you don't have to follow, is I put this facing down so it's more protected. Because this is on your ankle, if this is facing up and you get dirt, grime, salt, water, moisture, a lot of gunk in that mechanism, it can screw up the tourniquet. So when you need it, it won't work. So I face it down, and then I flat folded it so it's fairly thin. And then a pair of thick nitrile gloves. And then in the back, you have this sleeve. I have two petroleum gauze. I'll start with this. So originally I had chest seals. I had these. These are the hyphen vent chest seal, the compact ones, and two of them, right? What I found is these being a lot slimmer. Problem with these is they're quite thick. Now, understand, I guess what I'm trying to say is you do have to make some compromises with this, because if you load it to the gills, you might be able to rock it, but it will get in the way, cumbersome and stuff like that. So I originally had these, but they're stacked together maybe 3/8 of an inch. So that's adding 3/8 to an inch around about half the cuff. So it makes it a lot bigger. So after I removed these, it fit a lot tighter and a lot closer. But I didn't like that I wasn't utilizing that pocket, so that's why I put the petroleum gauze. Again, you can rock the compression needle. This one's made by H&H. It's a 14 gauge tension pneumothorax. And it goes right in here. It's kind of weird. And it's kind of weird. Why is that happening? Oh, I didn't have it pushed in all the way. So it Velcro secures it, keeps it clean, keeps it secure so it won't slip out. Some other things is quick clot you could keep in. So again, I had this in right on top of the compression bandage. They fit together really good. But with this, again, it made that pocket balloon out. But again, compromises, and you can build this however you want. That's a cool thing. But again, it's fairly small, but in the middle it's kind of thick. So it made that pocket with the bandage balloon out. But quick clot sponge, C-locks, blood coagulant, just the crystals. This fits in one of the pockets if you want to carry that. So this here might be an alternative. It's compressed gauze, but it's not a compression bandage. And what I found is this is actually bulkier than that compression bandage. It's a smaller footprint, but it's thicker, and it doesn't utilize the full width of the pocket. But again, I don't know. For some reason, if you wanted to carry that. And then alternative tourniquets. So I have a TK4, a couple of rats tourniquets, and maybe like 4 of these SWAT tees. And what they are is I think 4-inch elastic band, and it's a non-windlass tourniquet. And a lot of people use these, swear by them and stuff like that. And again, you can cut little slices if you needed to start a fire, and these can be used as just a compression, like similar to an ace bandage if you're hiking or something like that. I found these to not be that effective, but a lot of you guys like them, and it might be a little more low profile than the soft tee. Weight wise, they're actually fairly similar. When you flat fold this, it's really compact. But again, you can undo this and fold it to a certain size that fits in the pocket. Right? Now, real quick, just a small rant. A lot of people keep these in the original packaging. Keep in mind that this isn't really, it doesn't really need to be sterile, and I think when it's in the packaging, it's not guaranteed to be sterile. This isn't something that needs to be sterile, and what I found is the packaging that these are packaged in are actually kind of a pain to open, right? So if seconds count and you're trying to rip open that package and use it for the first time, so kind of what I recommend, it's a little less convenient, but I would take it out of the packaging. If you're carrying this in any medical kit, fold it up, use it a couple times, get used to it, but I would actually keep it out of the original packaging. And as you can see, when it's empty, it's very thin. It has 3 pockets. I won't measure them on camera. I'll throw the measurements in underneath. Keep in mind when I post the measurements, because they're not billowed, as you fill it in, that size will decrease, right? So consider putting things that fit the pocket that are kind of slim. It'll just work better for you. And the other thing is, the more and more stuff you put in, the smaller and smaller this will get. So if you load it really full, even if you're not doing it over a boot, you might need to use the boot extension. Again, there's a lot of adjustment, and I could give you a measurement and I might roll it in empty, but that's not that important, because once you load it in, you're stretching it out, so you're kind of making it smaller. But this can pretty much Velcro all the way to there, and in reality kind of go all the way over, so you can see how small that is. But then with the boot extension, so you have a lot of versatility. So yeah, overall, American made, super comfortable, stays tight, retention straps. This one includes the sleeve in the back, which a lot of the other ones don't, and I like the color of this one. So I'll leave a link to the site, go check it out. I think it's really cool, really important.